Hi guys, welcome back to Saving Salvage and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I bought an absolute piece of crap, and when I say a piece of crap I mean a proper piece of crap. So guys, please check out, new to the channel, my new very cheap project car, my Skoda Octavia VRS. Check it. So guys, welcome to my Skoda Octavia Estate VRS 2-litre TDI 170 PS in manual. What actually initially drew me to this car was it's a one-owner car, it's completely HPI clear, it's high mileage, but it was actually owned by the NHS. So I was thinking, oh no, this car must be saved. It's an ambulance car, it's done 195,000 miles, it's probably saved tens of lives in its lifespan, so therefore it must be saved. So I put in a bid and here we are, here is the car. Obviously this car would have had your blue flashing lights on, and it's pretty clear where they decided to put them. I mean, that's just shocking, but it actually gets worse because look, there's a complete hole in the roof where they fed the wiring through into the car. And over the car it's got some tints which are shockingly done as well. Interior is also minging. You've got a hole with a bit of tape on your door card here. The interior is just generally disgusting. For some reason the bonnet latch here, look, has been cut out and they used possibly a pair of pliers to pull it, so that's great as well. What else? Some random stuck on bit of thing there, look. Is that pretty much it? It's just minging. Damage wise on the exterior, I don't think it's too bad, other than it's just got a few dents. I mean, it has done, it's 10 years old, so you got to expect something, but it's not too bad. I think the main bit of damage is this front bit here, look, where you can see here it's obviously hit a curb or something. It's just dented the front going round. So actually no, the wheels are obviously completely mullered, but no, actually looking at it, it is not horrendous condition bodywork wise. It is just completely minging. So maybe this car does deserve to be saved. I'm actually going over this for the first time with you guys. I haven't actually gone over it before. When I bought it, I literally just made sure it started, which it does. It did start and ran. I reversed it off the trailer, parked it up, and that's where I've left it ever since. Moving on to the interior, we have 2 keys. Oh, and we've got a cracked windscreen. I mean, of course we've got a cracked windscreen. That is how I roll. I've got any documents at all, so that's great. Got a V5, that's about it. So God knows what the service history is. Good news is though, I have charged the battery, so it should start. There we go. So the engine, although we have an engine management light on, the engine seems to run okay. Oh, got a bit of missing trim up there as well. Don't know if the aircon works. Let's check it out. Yeah, the aircon doesn't work, and we've now got a glow plug warning light on. So this is great. So what did I pay for this car? I've been saying how crap it is, so that surely means I've paid bugger all for it. Not necessarily the case, if I'm honest. Let's just turn it off. So looking on the marketplace, because of the high mileage, 10 years old, it's hard to really value. I did see one that's very similar to this on Auto Trader, done a little bit more miles, same age but in black, and they actually got that up for, I think, just under 4 grand, which is too much in my opinion. That was in good condition though, so I think this car is probably worth 3. There was another one identical to this that had done 70,000, actually 80,000 miles more, and they wanted 2.5 for it. So I think this is worth about 3 grand in my opinion. Let me know in the comments what you think it's worth. So bearing that in mind, I think I've probably paid too much for it, because I think this is going to need quite a bit of spending on it, unless I can pick up some bargains. So I have paid 1,500 quid. That is what I paid for this car. From COPART, of course. £1,500 delivered. No, it weren't delivered. I went and collected it. So this is how long ago I've got it. I can't even remember collecting it. But no, that's what I paid for it. So on initial, there you go, look. Pickup date, 19th of June. So I've had this 3 months. So I'm going to stop waffling on the interior. We've gone around the exterior. It's crap. So now we're going to make things even worse probably, and we're going to put it on the ramp, stick it up in the air and condemn it completely. So let's get it into the workshop. So I've brought the I don't even know what car it is now. I've brought the Octavia VRS into the workshop, and it is now up on the ramp. So after completely slating the car, looks wise, condition wise on the exterior, I'm now probably going to do the same underneath as well. So it's now on the ramp. We're going to go around it like a pre-MOT check, just to identify any mechanical issues, any visual issues that I can see that would fail an MOT, and also any additional damage that we couldn't see from just going around the car when it was on the ground. So we're going to start in the midriff section. As you can see, the car is midway up. So we're going to check all the wheels, all the bearings, brakes, tyres, suspension, coil springs, etc. from here, and then work our way underneath the car and check out the rest of it, hoping it isn't too bad. It was an ex-ambulance car, so it should have been fairly well looked after, so fingers crossed it's okay. So I'll start with the near side rear, as that is where I'm closest to, and I don't know if you can see on camera, we'll just take it up straight away. We can see that our shock cover has failed. As you can see here, look, there's just a bit of plastic that covers the shock from any damage, and what has failed is there's a rubber bump stop up here. Well, it's not rubber, it's more of a weird material, but that holds the cover in like that. That has broken up, which has allowed the cover to fall down. So although it does protect the strut, they don't usually fail. I've never really had a problem with covers falling down. It just looks horrible, that's all. But to fix that, we'll need a bump stop, the shock off, etc. to change. So that is one issue, although not a major one. That's all good, bearing's all good. One of the tyres has got a puncture. I'm hoping that can be fixed. However, the tyre on this is spot on. That's pretty much brand new. What make is it? Toledo, yes. Ball bearing. No, that's all good. Ball bearing's fine. Suspension, absolutely fine. Again, tyre. Is that a Toledo again? Or we got even better? What we got this time? Win run. Oh, Jesus Christ. However, the win run is on about 6 mil again, so we're good here. Suspension, coil spring, no leaking shocks, all good. Now we've got a gold line. Never even heard of gold line. However, again, pretty much brand new. So the ambulance obviously weren't too bothered about how decent your tyres are. Brakes brand new, discs, although rusty from being sat, again they look pretty new to be fair. Coil spring, all good, no leaking shocks. So mechanically wise, so far we're all good. Last but not least, offside rear. Again, I won't show you, but the dust cover, shock bump stop has come off. Tyre, this is the one that's got a puncture, so it is, although a pretty much brand new tyre, has got a puncture. And the make, we're going to go for a 4th different make. No, we have a pair of Toledos on the rear. and someone has horrendously used some sort of silver paint to touch up all the scuff marks on this because it looks horrific. However, it is all good. Oh, new downpipe. Is that a new DPF? Bloody hell. I was thinking I might need to clean the DPF out and it might need a regen, but I've got a brand new actual DPF in there. So they have spent some money. So now I'm wondering, well, if they've spent probably about God knows how many hundreds of quid fitting a DPF and then sold it, because that looks pretty new, what issues are we going to have? Right, we'll start here. Drive CV boots, any splits. Looks all good. Go over to the offside. No CV boot splits there at all. All components look okay. So we have, here's the damage to our front bumper, as you can see, look. It is ripped off. So that, to be fair, could probably be fixed. Has someone tried, I don't know if that's standard or someone's tried using a staple gun to put that together. But we'll look at that in a minute. Under tray is obviously missing. Everything looks good from the front, no obvious damage. We have an oil leak. So to be fair, everything looks okay underneath mechanically. Just no jacking or tie down on this rear axle beam. So shocks aren't leaking, they look okay. I'm just going to put the camera down and just see if there's coil springs broken on the rear, because you'll be able to feel it. No, that's all good. Other side. No, that's all fine. I mean, if it's owned publicly by the NHS, or I don't know if this is a private ambulance or not, I mean, it should be mechanically sound. I mean, they've obviously spent some money on this DPF. That wouldn't have been cheap. However, it wasn't a genuine part, so. But it all looks fairly okay. There's maybe a bit of an oil leak we might have to have a look at on the EGR, but it's not massive. I think it's probably just built up over time. It's just misting, dust is attracted to it, and it's just made it look a lot worse than it is. What I might do is clean all that down, get some brake cleaner, clean it all down, and then run the car maybe for a little bit, and just to see actually how much is leaking, if any at all. But it doesn't even look that bad coming from the back of the block. Right, I've just got my brake cleaner out and cleaned all the bottom of the subframe, look, and the bottom of the sump, gearbox, all that, and I've just cleaned up the back of the block as well. You're not going to be able to see it, but I've cleaned all the pipes, so there's no actual fresh oil now anywhere, and I've dried up all the residue. So now we'll be able to test. I'll get the engine running and get it back up in the air at a later date, just to see if we can see where this oil leak is coming from, or if it's just an old one, but we'll see. We'll see. But whilst I was cleaning, I found something interesting. So obviously we have a new DPF fitted here, which obviously isn't very old. And I come across while looking, let me just spin, that. So that's not great, is it? Nice drive shaft washer. So looking at it, this bolt is also loose here. It's sister one. And then as I was just rocking the wheel, if you can see it, but I don't know if you can, because I've got shaky hands, I'm trying to turn a wheel as well. But basically the whole lot is loose, all 5, obviously we've got one missing, but they're all loose, all 5 bolts. So if you can see, the whole drive shaft is actually moving into the gearbox flange. So not great. So whoever fitted that obviously didn't do the bolts up. Right, so just having a quick look under the bonnet now, and to be fair, it kind of mimics the condition on the exterior and interior. It is pretty minging. Loads of parts missing, although we do have a new intake flap motor there. We're missing a airbox piece here, This breather pipe wasn't plugged in, it was just hanging down the back, so I've just plugged that back in. Our new DPF cables are just literally just hanging over the engine, not even been plugged in properly, look. Hanging down there. There's also one hanging down there which was hanging down by the exhaust as well. We have no engine cover, and it's just generally a mess, dirty. Up here, cam belt cover's not even on properly. It's just a general mess. I mean, the good thing is it has actually got oil in the engine. So I'm now going to be fairly intrigued to see what codes are going to be on this car. Right guys, so that is now the underneath of the bonnet checked out. As I was saying, it's just very messy, very dirty, and there are a few bits that were unplugged that shouldn't have been. So I've put everything back together that I can see. I have also just read the code. There is actually only one fault stored, and that is for a turbo underboost fault. I was actually expecting it to be more DPF related, but then obviously once I saw the brand new DPF fitted, I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. So the underboost fault, well, I haven't checked it yet, but a common problem on the common Rally 2-litre TDIs is the actuator for the turbo. They lose vacuum, or they don't hold vacuum. Very common problem. Right, so I've just tightened up the drive shaft bolts that I do have. I think 5 out of 6, possibly 4 out of 6, I can't remember now. But I've tightened those up, they're okay for a road test. I can't actually see any nails in the offside rear tyre. I think it might be a rim leak, which is slow, so I've pumped that up to 35 psi, so that'll be fine for a road test as well. What else have we got? Obviously I've just looked over the car. There's nothing, to be fair, that obvious wrong with it mechanically wise that we can't do a road test at least. So you join me now in the VRS, and we're going to go for a quick road test just to see if the engine is okay other than the suspected turbo issue, gearbox is okay, drive's okay, etc. So let's start her up. Got a bulb out somewhere, don't know where, but let's go for a quick spin. So, oh, no, just fine, just stick on my seatbelt. Right. Got power. Oh, I don't want to go down the road. I might do a couple of pulls. I might do a couple of pulls up and down the drive first, because there's a reason this car was in COPART. It might be an innocent one, but I would rather not just pull out, give it full beans and the thing blows up. So I'm going to do a couple of pulls up and down here. Got a little bit of white smoke, nothing major at the minute, I don't think. Glow plug light is flashing, so I've definitely got power. Ah, bugger it, I'm going down the road for breakdown and breakdown. It seems to be running okay. The glow plug light keeps going, it keeps flashing and then stopping for maybe 30 seconds and then flashing again, so I'm not too sure yet. Let's brave it, take it down the road. Stop smoking, to be fair. Let's just go through the gears first. Feels a bit flat, bottom end. I wouldn't say the turbo's not working. I'm going to brave it, I'm going to go to the next roundabout. Nutter. It's definitely boosting. It's not picking up as quite as early as you'd expect, but so it seems to be driving. Oh, tried 6 actually. Yeah, it seems to be driving fine then, apart from just a bit of the pickup on the boost is a bit delayed. So that leads me to ask you guys, what do you think I should do with this car? Obviously this car, very grubby, it's got loads of weird small faults. Do I just clean it up, make it look good, and just sell it as spares and repairs and list the faults, and then try and make maybe a couple of £100 and just, not cut my losses, but just say, look, okay, this one's not great, I don't really see a potential in it, let's just get rid of it? Or do I address those small problems like door card? I mean, I've already had a look, I can't really find a door card, so that could be an issue. Bonnet latch, might need a whole new bonnet cable, and obviously it's going to need a new bit of trim to fix that. The roof as well, we've got a hole in the roof that I'll have to weld a small piece of metal in and then fill that in and paint it. Same with the roof rails as well, they've got holes in, so they need addressing. Obviously we've got the boost problem as well, possibly an actuator, not sure yet without looking. Possible oil leak as well, which we'd have to look into. What else have we got? Cracked windscreen, new windscreen, and is that it? That might be it. Can't think of anything else at the moment. And obviously possible puncture as well, and obviously we'll have to get it through an MOT if we're going to do it properly as well. So I will do whatever you guys comment the most in the section. So do I just tidy it up, sell it with the faults listed, or do I fix it up properly and try and get, I don't know, £3.5 grand for it? I'll leave it completely up to you. Whoever comments the most, or whatever the most common answer is in the comments, I will do. Right guys, that is it for today's video and the first one on the VRS. So please do let me know in the comments, do you want me to fix it and sell it on with everything done, or do you want me to just clean it up a little bit, spend no money on it, and sell it for maybe a couple of £100 profit? Let me know in the comments, and then it'll be up to you whether you see this car on the channel again. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers guys.